In this video, I'm going to review the Desert Junkyard Gamemat that just came out for Star Wars Legion from Fantasy Flight Games. We're starting right now. Alright guys, so I've got the mat set up on my table here, and I put out a few of my painted Star Wars Legion guys who have actually been painted in some of my other tutorial videos. Hopefully you can see that you know, maybe it's just luck, but the bases I'm using, like the color and the desert sort of theme, is actually a really nice match for some of the areas on this, on the mat itself. This sort of desert tan color. Looking at the mat, so it's a nice thin mouse pad type of material, but it's just the right thickness to lay nice and flat and not be too heavy. So, and as far as I can see, there's no creasing, there's no curling. It actually just came in a cardboard box, which is impressive that none of the ends were damaged or anything like that. What's nice about this kind of a surface is it's nice and quiet for dice rolling. I don't seem to have any dice lying, well, maybe I do. Let's cross the streams here. Rolling some bolt action dice. Yeah, like it's nice and muted and quiet, which is great. What else about it? The other thing that's awesome about this type of material, as opposed to, for example, the vinyl ones, is that this does not really reflect your light sources in the area. So right now, there's fluorescent light above. There's another sort of daylight fluorescent shining on it to the side here. It's not the best lighting, but there's no glare anywhere on the surface, which is great. I'll actually try in a couple minutes, I'll put the vinyl one I have against it here and you'll see what I mean. What else? The detail is nice and crisp on the printing. I think it's a cool theme. I totally get, you know, the elephant in the room on these mats is that the mats have terrain sort of printed on them. So for example, this could be construed as rough terrain. You know, there's bits of broken AT-AT around here. There's some rock walls and stuff. And I know on the other mats, I didn't buy both. I just bought one with my own money here for now. The other mat, I believe, has an actual building on it. I totally get that for some people that's just not going to work. For me, I'm totally cool with this. Like, I would just put my terrain on it and effectively ignore what's on the mat itself and just treat it as, you know, flavor and theme, and it just makes the game look cool. And I wouldn't be like stressing, oh my gosh, I can't believe this guy is walking on top of a broken AT-AT piece or something, or oh man, that guy can't see over this piece of rock. I wouldn't do it that way. I would use the 3D terrain as the terrain. I would use the bottom or the mat as, again, theme, flavor. It's attractive looking. It's a nice surface to play on, nice and smooth and whatnot. It does have a Star Wars logo in one corner. I don't know if you can see it in the video. Probably not. Let me see if I can sort of slide that over for a sec. It's kind of over here. It's semi-translucent, it's small, it's really not a big deal. I don't see it detracting from the mat at all, personally. So guys, here is a vinyl mat I have. It's like a Martian Badlands kind of mat. Now, and it's much larger, so I couldn't really, you know, fit it right in. I'm trying to show you that, and I don't think it's really going to come through great on the video, but what happens is light sources reflect quite a bit more on this surface. So for example, from where I'm standing, this area here looks very washed out by the light, and I've got some glare here, etc. And the bigger I spread it out on my table, the more there's like hot spots and things like that. So it's a nice looking mat. It's a cheaper type of quality to get printed vinyl, and you get, actually, I would say, crisper detail. So if the visuals on the mat are what you're mostly concerned about, you know, it looks great, but the problem is under lights you can't even make out the detail half the time because of the glare. Whereas on this, I hope I'm not like sticking my head in the frame. I'm trying not to let this mat roll away. Oh, whatever. So on the on this material, the detail is less crisp and sharp, but I can see it all very clearly. The light is not washing it out, and it looks great. Again, it's a nice surface to play on. So for me, and I would say also it is a little bit less prone to things like scratches or scrapes or anything like that, or also creasing or folding. But for me, I think it's great. I think I paid about 48 Canadian for it. I wouldn't hesitate to buy the other one and stick them together for a playing surface. I would recommend this if you're cool with the printed terrains elements. Like I said, for me, not a big deal. I can totally play around that. If it's something that's going to bother you, I totally get it as well, and so you'd probably want to pass on this. But for the average player who's not too fussed about stuff like that, I think it's great, and I would recommend it. And you know, hats off to Fantasy Flight Games. Hopefully they'll make more of these. I think like a Hoth themed mat would look really cool. Hopefully they'll come out with that, and if they do, that's when they can say, okay, people weren't super loving the having all the terrain kind of baked into the print, so maybe they won't do it next time. That's it for now. Let me know in the comments if you picked up this mat and what you think of it, or even the other, you know, the sister mat to this, and we'll see you next time.